the song of the weekend.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Fucking love that tune.
Copyright. Don't want to say the name.
Or do we have to say the name so
I think
we
we
don't
have
get
to say the name.
copyrighted?
1985 by.
He's
Bowling
got
for Soup.
Bowling for Soup.
I think that's what it is.
All
I
right.
always forget
Yeah.
their name.
Yeah, the one hit wonder.
It's such a weird. I know there's soup in it, but I couldn't tell you the rest of it at all.
No soup for you.
Welcome to the Puck Boys podcast. We've got Colin Dalkey, we got Marcus Federkev, we've got Devin Prout, we've got the squad.
Bonjour.
Can we start with the weekend?
Yeah,
I
we
wanna
have
talk
to.
about the weekend.
Okay, yeah. So as we're listening to this song, I look over and Devin's doing a dance move that was created this weekend, and it's called the inverse dab, and it's exactly what you think it is.
It's the other way.
It's the other way around.
It's instead of putting your
Towards your
face
face.
towards your elbow, you remove your elbow from your face.
Like when you
And-
start a dab, like at the beginning, how you have your hand like directly straight out. Basically, just hold it at your face like a dab, and then just toss it out.
It's almost like a tomahawk chop sort of thing, but it's sideways.
I would love to see.
Honestly, I was
Copyright.
more of a fan of like the backwards dab that you decided to do, which is
Oh,
where you
yeah.
just wave your hands behind your head. I thought that was really funny.
I've seen that before. I've
Okay.
seen,
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, that was the
I
only
think that's just a
problem with
move though. That's just like hands in the air. That's not like a.
it. That's why you can play it off. I think it depends, like how fast the motion is. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if you kind of like do it like consistently, it kind of looks like hands in the air. But like, if you like try to do like a dab where it's like just like one motion, just
No, it's just some dope Migos song. Bitch, damn. And you just throw it behind you.
And you have to like toss your head back, because you know how to like do a little like.
Oh
little,
shit!
like,
Yeah, you
nod?
gotta
have to,
dab
like, go backwards
behind
to,
you.
like-
yeah.
Oh shit! We just created more dance moves. Talking
great.
about dance moves, your local dance move experts.
See him at OV this Saturday.
Oh shit! That'll come up later.
Oh yeah, that'll come up later.
Anyway,
But yeah. So
the weekend.
Weekend was great. Devin had us out at his cabin for the
Yeah.
first time ever.
Good
Had, like,
old Lake of the Woods, Manaki.
You have no idea how similar your cabin is to mine. It was actually
I've
like
never been to your cabin.
it was
so.
eerie.
the layout and the just like the vintageness. The
Yeah.
old, like you
cabin feel.
you guys both have those like wacko indoor windows or inside opening
Yeah,
windows,
yeah.
and
We
you're
have the screens all the way around like the
Yeah,
cabin.
oh, yeah.
basically.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you want to have that.
The whole thing is just like a kitchen and then beds.
Yeah.
That's his room. That's his place too.
Yeah.
That's most cabins.
The
though.
only
Yeah.
thing that was different about yours was like when you walk in the front door, the kitchen and all that stuff was on the right and the beds were on the left. At my
Yours
cabin,
is
it's the exact
left.
opposite.
Yeah.
That's like
Just walk in the back door.
that's why like
Walk in the back door.
yeah, that would make me feel better.
Yeah. yeah. But yeah, we had a
God.
great time out there. Got pretty tossed.
It's a little far. I do understand that it's about a 3-hour drive. So
Yeah. Like
not
door
like
to door kind of thing.
I-
That includes like the boat ride, 'cause we got a boat to the cabin.
I was not looking forward to that car ride out there. Not a goddamn chance. That Friday we put in a shift.
Yeah.
Happy
we
birthday
did.
to Willie
I
P.
was so hung. I haven't been like that hungover in a while. Like
I had
that
a-
was a rough one.
it was a rough headache. Like
We-
I don't know how much of it was the loud music we played out there and
Yeah.
the lack of sleep and the booze from last night, but
I was just
it was
super
just headache. It was just a headache.
he texted the group chat saying, "Yeah, I go." Well, because he was supposed to stay over at my house. He ended up going home. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I'll be over at your place at 9." Even though we talked about 10
Yeah,
in
we
person,
did.
and I'm like, "Okay, like I guess he's coming at 9, so
Was
I'll be
Devin
ready for
drunk?
that." Oh, of course you were.
Doesn't count.
But then I wait. So I
But to be
wake up
fair,
at
I think we
8:30 to prep for it,
Yeah.
and then I'm like,
Well,
"Yeah,
you
so
did
when
the
are you
night
coming?" He's like,
before.
"Oh, I thought we decided on 10." I'm like, "Dude, you text the group chat saying you're coming at 9." You're like, "Oh fuck."
Should not have done that.
And
I
I'm
think-
like, "Okay, well, clearly I can sleep for another like little bit."
No, all part of the plan. Knew we had to get up early and pack.
Fucking dick. The only thing was the second I got in that car, we got the tunes going.
Oh, yeah.
And we had, yeah.
I
oh,
got
yeah.
my Timbs in the morning, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little better. But once we did the first dab in the car, you did
say
the
we-
Hexa dab. I have
Oh, yeah, I did the
never
Hexa
seen
dab, yeah.
someone hold his head that hard after, just from a headache.
Okay.
So bad.
To be fair, I'm not like pro dab. I don't.
we're
I
not
don't.
pro
I
dab
don't.
at all.
I don't encourage people to do it. The only reason why I will never do the Hexa dab though, I was at Boardwalk Days, which is like this huge thing in Winnipeg Beach, with a bunch of people, and I noticed that this one little kid did 6 dabs in a row, and I'm like, that is the lamest kid I've ever seen in my life, and I'm laughing my ass off with a bunch of other people. But then I realized this kid's probably like 12 years old, and he's with about like maybe 7 or 8 girls that are 2 years older than he is, and I'm like, you know what? If that's what he's up to, like,
So you're saying
You're saying
6 dabs approximately 6 women around.
Yeah, more or less.
Coincidence?
More dabs, more ladies.
I think so.
Is that the philosophy behind this?
We just figured out E equals MC squared.
Full
More dabs equals more women.
Ovi's gonna be a lot more fun.
the stupidest fucking conversation.
This might be the dumbest podcast start
Oh
we've ever
my
had.
God.
This has been really stupid, but I fucking love it.
We are getting there.
Anyway, so we got really drunk in my cabin, had a good time.
I still can't believe we sat on the dock for like 3.5 hours
Oh yeah,
before bed.
Well, we were like, I was like pretty. Well, I thought the entire time we were all gonna crash. Like that was the whole point of it. And I was
We
just
got
like,
that
we
cigar
gotta just keep,
going and
we
it
gotta
was a
keep
good
everything
time.
going. And it was between What Do You Meme was one of the games that we were playing. I think we played
My
played Crib
sister
or
and
something like
I
that.
kicking your guys' ass in beer pong. Not a big deal.
Not regulation table.
Not a regulation table, but so it was a little bit of home court. Actually, I've never played beer pong on that table. We've always done it on the other one.
I was wondering why we weren't using that one, to be honest.
It's long though. Like it's
The dining room table?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it had
long.
been too long. And I think
It's
the
the light would have
was
been
low.
in the way.
It was low.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have like we've taken down that light usually because like the parents would go to bed and that's where that room is. So we usually play beer pong there.
That SWAT that your sister had was one of the funniest things ever.
Oh my,
I
that was.
can't believe that happened.
Oh,
Because I've seen that happen once, and it was decided then like, does that even count? But then we thought about it because
It's like, oh yeah.
well, what happened was, what was it? It was a bounce shot,
Bounce
and
shot,
the
you're allowed to swat it.
and the other teams like they're allowed to swat, but they swatted it into a cup. That's like, okay, yeah, that counts.
No, the best part was the fact that Haley like missed three
Four.
or four
Three or
bounces
four
in a row,
bounce
and she's like,
shots.
"Oh fuck, I forgot I can like go swat at it."
Oh.
And then she gave it like a university collegiate level volleyball spike right into our cup, and I just
Like, what the fuck do you do?
I just absolutely
wasn't
like,
that game 7 too, or was that game 6?
I don't know what it was.
I don't
but,
remember
like,
which game it was, but
It was a TSN
All I
turning
remember
point,
was
think.
I was
It was
like,
funny.
I was in tears. Like I was laughing my ass off. I think you were too.
oh, I remember because we had the couch behind us. We
Yeah.
both rolled back onto the
And I
couch
went
and
to the
just
living room
yeah.
and just laid down on the couch. I was like, I'm done. I was like, she
It's
misses.
over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's over.
You know, the 6-7 cups that you guys got from bounce shots. She gets one back. It's like, okay, fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah, but I remember doing that, and then like after beer pong, I'm like, okay, we're probably gonna crash soon. Let's get the cigar out and just like sort of like burn out, sort of thing.
Well, I
What'd you guys think of the cigar?
It was good.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of nice to mix it up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
honestly, if 3 times a year I spent $10 on like a third of a cigar,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
but
But
then we ended up going to the dock and just like
Chill out.
Yeah,
chilling. We
well-
talked for fucking
yeah,
3.5
we
hours.
sat there about 12:30, and yeah, we rolled into bed about 4
That would have been a
in the morning.
podcast.
Starting
No,
one at
it
4 in the
would
morning.
Not.
No, like what we talked about on that dog.
Oh my god, that
you-
should have been a pod.
That would have been fucking dreadful.
You think that this would have been a weird way to start the podcast?
What was the first topic? Wasn't it space? It was what the hell do you think is out there? Or
No,
talked
dude,
about-
it was
the
you. It was
hypothetical-
you.
it
we
the
talked
It
about
was
we
you.
talked about aliens. We talked
Aliens.
about conspiracy theories.
Series, that's
It was,
what it was.
exactly what you'd expect from a group of drunk boys at 3 in the morning.
Drunk bastards at 3 in the morning. Oh, it was a really good time though.
Yeah, thanks for having us out. Definitely
Yeah, no
would love to
problem.
do it again.
We'll have to do it again. But should we dive into some hockey talk?
Let's do our best.
Because what happened, I guess, while we were out there.
Yeah, the biggest news in Winnipeg
go.
for hockey.
Jacob Trouba, 1 year, 5.5.
Yeah,
I like it.
The money, I think, is fair. The only thing that pissed
Yeah.
me off is that he didn't get the 6 years like I was hoping he would, or get like a more secure deal.
Yeah.
The bright side, though, is I would take a 1 year deal over a 2 year deal or a 3 or a 4 because he's going to be an RFA by the time this deal expires.
He would be
And if
unrestricted
he gave
after.
if you gave him a 2 year deal, he would have been a UFA, and you know he wouldn't have re-signed. You know he would have walked.
you're right.
I don't think it's because he hates Winnipeg. I think it's just because he thinks that he's amazing, and I
He, like,
don't.
deserves more than what
Yeah.
they like. He thinks that he's behind Bufflin and behind
Myers.
Myers, but which everyone knows he's better than Myers. But like the fact that he thinks he's behind Bufflin, I guess.
He's well, I don't know. In the playoffs, I thought he was better than Buff. I don't know. Buff showed flashes. I don't know.
Buff stepped up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Buff was like really good.
I thought Buff was really good in the playoffs.
I know, but Trouba was like known for being like the top. He was the top pair guy because it was him and Morrissey, right?
Yeah.
And they were playing the top matchups. It wasn't Bufflin.
Yeah,
That's fair.
That's what I'm more. That's what I'm
even
sort of
Myers,
talking
I thought
about.
was like more flashy out there than.
Oh,
Trouba
he
during the
played good.
playoffs.
That's why we made it to the third round. Like
Yeah,
everyone was
exactly.
playing well. It's not just one guy or the other. But
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good deal. Exactly what you said. I think it's the perfect money. Like I said, he shouldn't be making 6, but he shouldn't be making less than 5.
Yeah.
Like he should be in that range, and 5.5 is exactly where it was.
Well, his comparable that we were talking about all weekend was Matt Dumba, and didn't he just get the 6 for 6? Or?
Yeah, he got $6 million per season for 5 years.
Okay.
The only thing though is he got like a 50-point season, and
Yeah.
he's projected to be the top pair guy on Minnesota.
Yeah.
Whereas with us, he's not projected to be the top pair guy, and I don't think he's cracked 40 points. I think he's gotten like mid-30s or like been on pace for mid-30s for a couple of years.
Okay.
But that's not the same thing. And you know what? He was given power play time. So you can't say that the reason why I wasn't getting 50 points was because, I'm not playing too much power play time. It's like, nope. I don't think he can run it that well, to be honest.
So what do you think eventually happens with him? Do we trade him with 1 year left on his deal?
I think the second we sign him
Or-
to that 1 year deal, I think we're going to flip him. But I think it's going to be for like, I think Cheveldaev's going to get real creative, and somebody's just going to be like available that nobody's really talking about.
What you were saying earlier, Chubas had 29 points, 22 points, 21, and 30.
I know, but he's also missed a lot of games.
Yeah, but
So-
yeah, he's in like 2 of those seasons he played less than 65.
Okay, so there you go.
Less, and in third season, this last season he only played 55.
So he had 31 and 55 this year?
He had 24.
Okay,
55,
sorry.
Yeah, so
and then
about 30 some
33 and
points.
60, 21 and 81, and then 22 and 65. So
One of the things I was actually talking about with, was it my dad or was it you guys? But you got Trouba. He's 24 years old. He is like a top tier defenseman in the league. I'd say like on a team, he's probably like a
He can
2.
be.
He's a 2 or a 3.
yeah,
I agree.
He's also 24 years old. He has RFA rights at the end of the year. He's making what technically for this year, he's making $1 million less than Erik Karlsson. That's also a fact.
yeah.
As far as the money goes, if you wanted to put all your chips into this year,
Are you saying deal him for Carlson, or sorry, him and?
now, yeah, exactly. Like I don't think like obviously 1 year is not gonna like just 1 for 1's not gonna do it. I think you would have to add obviously, but we got a huge pool of guys. We got
And
picks.
the thing is, like, even if we give him up the year after, because
I think we're only missing like one pick in the top like 3 rounds of the next like 3 years. Like
I don't know.
You threw that at the wall.
I know. I'm
and
hoping it sticks, but like I don't know. Like
I think it's a little too bananas to happen, but
It
it would
is, but,
would
like-
make the Jets the Stanley Cup front runner.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that right side.
dude. Can you imagine Carlson on the same power play as Patrick Laine and Scheifele and all those fucking guys? Like
Just Carlson passing the puck to line.
Like,
would
rip.
be insane. Oh,
game. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like what do you do?
You toss
What
Adam
can you
Lowry
do?
in front of him, man.
There-
You
there-
signed a big contract.
there's so many like things you
Combos
could
and
do.
shit like that you could do.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair.
You could even leave Bufflin on the power play with Laine and then just have Carlson run the other one, or have Carlson run both. Like fuck.
Yeah, who really cares?
They're-
How many minutes does he average a night? Isn't it like
29?
27. Yeah, 28.
He's one of the highest.
Yeah.
He's fine. He can run both.
I don't know. I was just like throwing it out there. I don't think it's gonna happen, but like it'd be fucking cool.
Who do you think? Who would be like your like mock? If you're like doing a mock draft, you have everybody in the shelf. Who are your 3 guys that you'd start a team with then?
Well, am I taking everything into account?
Everything. Like we're talking salary. We're talking how old he is. All that. You're starting a franchise.
If I'm actually doing that, my number 1 pick would be Rasmus Dahlin. If I get three
Really?
years at entry level,
It's a fair.
Was
It's a
your-
fair
if
if I
argument.
get my
Years before?
first 3 years,
He would be in my 3, but
Yeah,
because you
he'd be
have
in my
3
3.
years as a rookie deal, it is way more valuable than most of the other guys who have 1 or already on normal deals.
Yeah.
more. Well, I think most people would say Connor McDavid has to be your number 1 because
Exactly.
of this and that. It's
exactly
like
who I'm saying.
it's $12.5 million.
Still fine.
if I'm
It's
building
fine
it-
with David.
I
And
think
how old he is.
don't kid yourself. I think even though McDavid's making 12.5, I think he still would be 2.
Yeah.
But Dahlin just being
But
I
Dahlin's-
think they're both generational talents, but I don't know.
who your 3? Oh, geez.
Well, I like McDavid, Dahlin, but
I think are those everyone's 2s? Honestly,
Yeah,
it might be.
those are
I might
my
take
2.
Carlson over. I don't know. Maybe Carlson, Dahlin, and McDavid. Honestly,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That might be it.
The like I'd say the top like contender though would probably be Nate Mack, just because he is pretty young
he's got that deal.
and he has a good contract. and he just should have won the Hart this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you guys
So-
are just passing up on goalies.
There's no goalie is above and beyond better than the
Yeah.
rest of the pack in
Yeah.
terms of like what they have for a contract or what they have is like youngness,
Yeah.
or just pure skill. Like
The only three that I think would kind of like hit most of those is
Murray.
Vasilevsky, Murray, and Hellebuck.
Yeah.
I think those are probably the top three as far as like just straight value. But
you
like,
would take a Nate Mack or a.
oh yeah,
Carlson
like I
over
think that
him.
one of those guys
Them
is
in
a way
heartbeat.
but I'd also
more of a sure bet.
I would argue that Price is better than all and more valuable than all three of them, even at his money.
Yeah,
Because like Price has shown he can be worth that much when he does play that good. But the whole thing is that because it's so up in the air, I don't want a goalie in my top three.
yeah. Because there's so many guys that you could pick that would be like more or less like interchangeable. Because I think we even talked about like how many like real good like starting goalies are in the league. I think we counted like 15 or 20.
There's like I think 16 goalie. I think whatever we did the list, those are goalies that I would say can win you a cup. Like if that guy was my starter, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if we called it starting goalies or
With
whatever.
the right
Yeah.
team around them, they could win the cup.
Yeah.
with them. Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah.
there's guys like Robin Leonard that I think if
No.
you put Team Canada in front of Robin Leonard, he still won't win a Stanley Cup.
Or like Mike Smith or something like that. Like, you don't think he's gonna be there.
Mike Smith did
Mike
make the
Smith
conference
is pretty
final.
good. He made
That was a long time ago.
he was an
but
all star.
I'm not a fan of Mike Smith anymore.
He's got a gold medal for
were
Team
just-
Team
Yeah.
Canada.
Did he
Oh
play
yeah, he
games?
does.
No, he was third string. But he was on Team Canada.
That's insane.
Like according to Team Canada, he was the third best
Third.
Canadian goalie.
Who
So
would be your three?
For goalies?
No, three.
Or three,
Like
be-
just to build around.
Probably McDavid, Carlson, or sorry, Dolan and maybe Eichel. Just
Oh,
to have
don't
the
kid
1-2
yourself.
center.
I am a huge Eichel fan. Don't
Have
kid
the
yourself.
1-2 center, maybe, but it's hard to pass on a defenseman. Even Drew Doughty.
Well, if you're going with a young center, Austin Matthews.
Mm,
Do you like Matthews more than Eichel?
no. I like Eichel more than
I like
Matthews.
Eichel more than Matthews. Personally.
What about you?
I'm the exact same way.
Okay. okay.
Now, to be fair, I think it's
A little bit of bias
it's.
being a
I think
Winnipeg
it's.
fan.
I think they're basically like the same player. I think. Well, as
very
far as
similar.
like what they bring to the table, I find that Matthews probably plays a little bit more of like an all-around game.
Yeah.
Not, no offense to Eichel, but I think Matthews is like. I think there's a chance that he contends for Selkies at some
Really?
point. Like I think he's like really that good.
Well, having
Um,
Tavares on the team now,
Well, yeah, exactly.
he has to be like step up his defensive game.
Yeah.
Totally.
Um,
Another guy would be like Drew Doughty maybe. Like, I really like Drew Doughty.
if you're talking D, I think Doughty would probably be. Well, if you're talking straight value, I think Dolan, Hedman, Doughty, and Carlson would be my top four. And then everyone else is kind of like in tier two.
Yeah, because Doughty just signed his contract, didn't he?
Yeah,
he
so
just
he's
got.
making a shit ton of money. He'll be making $11 million a year.
Yeah. I think Hedman might be another one. Cause
Hedman would probably be
huge
three,
fan
and then
of
Doughty
Hedman.
would be four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I think Hedman and Doughty are like 1 year apart. They're basically like the same age, I think. So
Yeah. And would you rather like a big defensive guy like Hedman or have like a kind of more offensive guy? Which I know Doughty's fantastic at D, but I think I would picture him more offensively than Hedman, wouldn't you?
Oh no! I'd go
Really?
the other way around. Yeah, Hedman's gone a 7-point season. I think he got 75 points actually.
But that was on the power play with Stamkos, Kucherov.
Honestly, I think they're very similar.
They're similar. Yeah.
I might give the offensive edge to Hedman, but I don't know. They're both.
Doughty has the pedigree. He's the hardware. He's won cups. He's won
so
gold.
Hedman's won a cup? Oh, Doughty.
No,
Doughty.
Doughty, sorry. I was like, I don't think Tampa's won a cup.
Okay, so those are the three.
That's not a bad question. The only problem was we all went with Dolan and McDavid, didn't we? So
I didn't think Dolan was
I
going to
didn't
be
think
on
Dahl
everyone's.
was going to be on there either, but I like...
You seen that kid? Looks like he kicked the shit out of him.
That's
dude
a guy I
looks
would
like-
kick the shit out of.
Oh, dude, I was just kidding. There's no way. He's like,
I don't know, man.
is he 18 yet? Is this legal to say?
the dude's like 6'2", 190 pounds. And if they're saying that he's going to dominate men in hockey, I don't want to know what he can do in like a fucking fist fight. Okay. How many Chelsea players do you think you could kick the shit out of?
How many guys in the NHL?
Like, that you
No
actually, like,
more than 5.
I think I would I think I was thinking about this earlier, and I thought at first, like, maybe 10 players. But then I got down to it, I'm like, no. And not that I would fight them, but, like, they would just beat me up. Because
Yeah,
those are
like,
two
you
different
lose that
questions.
fight, like-
Those are two different questions. I would fight like a bunch of people, but like I know I'm gonna get my shit kicked.
And we're talking like in a UFC ring, not on the ice. Because
Yeah.
on the ice, it doesn't matter their skating or their like stability on skates and everything is a million times they can ragdoll me.
Yeah.
But like in a UFC ring, I think there's probably no more than 5 that I could beat up.
I'd say like maybe 5.
I don't know. I think there's a good chance I lose every single fight. I will try. Like if you said like pick 5 guys to fight, there's a chance I go 0-5. But I don't know. Like,
Do you have the outside shot?
who's ever seen like when do you think's the last time Johnny Goudreau squared up? Like
I don't think he has.
I don't think he ever had to.
L-
Unless he
like-
has a brother, and that was the last fight he had.
and that's what I'm gonna say. If I'm choosing, I'm looking at who had siblings, who moved away and like lived in like Yugoslavia for 3 years to play hockey. That guy, I'm not fighting that guy.
I'm not fighting Rak Faxa.
I don't
Goddamn chance.
Yeah, I don't care who the hell you're talking about. But
I would take on Johnny Hockey.
I think on just because he's such a pretty boy. How about Mitch Marner?
Oh,
Oh, there's
yeah.
another one.
Yep, that's another one. I would go toe to toe with Mitch.
Yeah, I was thinking along like the lines of like Nuge, Goudreau.
Do you
and
think there's
Marner,
anyone
yeah.
in your weight class that you can beat though?
No.
No,
There and if you said yes, I would.
yeah, no,
No, not a chance.
Okay.
no. I'd have to.
Like,
go
these
down
are
a few
still-
weight classes.
If they're in the same weight class as you and they're a professional athlete, I think that kind of says it all. I think you're done.
Yep.
I don't think it really matters.
Okay, good. At least you guys have some sanity.
Oh yeah.
You don't think I would be able to take on like one of those
You
midgets?
don't think I could think I would like honestly give you a good like say in a like Goudreau fight versus you?
Well, how much do you weigh?
Last time I checked, like 165. Like I'm not.
I may take Johnny then.
I might take Johnny. I might take Johnny there.
Like that's what I'm saying, guys. Like
yeah, but the thing is,
I'm not
bigger-
a professional athlete.
yeah, but I'm like a lot bigger than like you. So like, so I'm not a
You
lot bigger,
still
but,
have
like, I'm
never
bigger.
fought anyone.
Yeah,
I had
Like-
brothers.
yeah. I had brothers. I had a brother who's 10 years older than me.
And
Yeah,
a,
but
and
I bet you
cousin.
didn't-
Your cousin's the one you
Oh,
fought the
man, me
most.
and Tyler scrapped.
Yeah,
it's a
and I
good
fought my
scraps.
brother too. But I guess if I
I-
did fight Johnny Hockey, would be like a similar fight.
Steven,
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, I think my 5 would be like Goudreau, Nuge, Marner.
I don't think you could beat up Nuge. I don't.
Oh yeah,
No.
I think I could. Dolan honestly might be up there, and Millstat,
Casey Millstat?
Casey Middlestat.
Yeah,
go
maybe.
Go look at him do a chin up. I'm gonna if I lose to that.
How big's that
honestly,
other Oiler? Kujula.
Kajula's
He
like,
looks pretty
he's shorter,
small.
but he's thick.
Okay.
he's
He
a
wa-
little
he-
thicker, I think.
and I
Okay.
think he did 4 years of university.
He did
So
Yeah,
I think
pass,
he
pass,
had to
pass.
fight.
Yeah,
Definitely
nope.
had to fight a bit.
Do they fight?
Dude, instantly when like we first thought of this question, you know who I thought of? Yamamoto.
Oh!
That might be the only guy I can beat up because he's only 19 or 18.
3 Oilers.
Like I think I can beat up Yamamoto.
Yamamoto,
but
yeah.
he hasn't played a game in the NHL, so I wouldn't
yeah,
count it yet.
He's played
Or
like
Quentin
7.
Hughes
He doesn't
would
have
not,
a year gone on his
Oh, doesn't
contract
have, like,
yet.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So
Quentin Hughes would not know what to do if he saw this thing come flying at him.
this thing was his fist, by the way.
Oh yeah, he would have
His
no
hammer.
That could also mean a lot of
That
things.
could mean a lot of things.
But yeah, no, I think my 5 would be like Marner, Yamamoto on that list, definitely. Nuge, I feel is up there.
Well, does
Okay,
Yamamoto
here-
count
here's
as an
a
NHL
here's a
player, though?
question.
might be up to
Would
10,
you
honestly.
would you be willing to gamble money on yourself in a fight? Like,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
confident enough
Oh,
that
yeah.
you would put money on
Yep.
yourself?
Oh,
That's the level I would not
And-
go to. Like, I may
Okay.
win, but I'm not confident enough that I would put money on
Another
it.
guy?
I would only do like 3 of them though. I think I would probably do like Middlestad, Marner, and Goudreau. Who
Okay.
are probably like 3 of the.
who you'd actually put money on,
Yep, I would put money on myself on all 3 of those guys.
and Yamamoto.
And I'm
I
talking
don't count him because he's not in the NHL.
I'm talking like legit money, not just like a fiver.
Yeah,
like,
'cause I
no,
guess he's-
like would you put $500 or like a
Yep.
paycheck on
Yeah.
winning
Yeah.
this fight? Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's
And
Okay.
honestly, like, because we've seen a few Jets at the bar, Kyle Connor does not look big at all.
There's not a Jet who I could come close to beating up.
I
Kyle
could not
Connor,
know.
I think, is close.
dude. Kyle Connor is like the same size as he has the same proportions as me.
The
No,
only-
he isn't at all.
the only
he's the
Jet-
Same, he's like, I think he's shorter than me and definitely weighs less.
He's 6'1", and he looked.
For sure not.
I walked past him and he was like the same size as me. He was about 6'1", 180.
I was gonna say he's, if anything, the same size or if not shorter than me.
No.
And I was standing right beside him.
Anyway,
There's not a Jet I could beat up. The only one in size that I would like feel a little bit like confident against
One of
is
Wheeler's
Tanev,
seven.
but like I've seen that guy grind. I'm not fighting
Dude,
him.
you know,
He's a pit bull.
There's a snake in the rough who you can vote on, and it
Patan?
is Sami Niku because he has played a game as a Jet,
Okay.
Or Patan.
and just because he's small.
Oh, Patan.
Patan, actually,
Dude,
yeah.
actually, I've seen his arms. I would not want to fight him.
I haven't seen his arms. I've only seen.
I've
his
also
arms.
seen him deflect hockey pucks, and that kid's got really good reflexes. I feel like he would just right in the face. Done.
Actually,
Yeah.
I have a
Give me
better,
Give me a quick 7-8, and then I'm done.
I have a better question to this. Actually, it's not like, well, obviously we talked about like who you would like win in a fight against,
Yeah.
but like, who's like the one guy that like you want in the ring? Like, if you could have NHL player and just go you,
'cause you're
and it's
mad
like,
at
you know what,
them.
you're definitely gonna get your shit kicked, but it's like, you know what, you can say, yeah, I punched this guy in the face, or like I tried taking out his knee, or just like.
So you're telling me like who's like the scariest guy basically? And you
No.
Like,
No,
Who
no,
do
no,
you
or just
want
something
to
you're,
punch
like,
in the
mad
face
at?
the
Like,
most?
who do you want punch in the face like that badly?
Can I pick a manager?
I there's not anyone, frankly, in the entire world who'd be worth getting the shit kicked out of me for getting one punch on them. So I would never.
Who do you hate in the NHL the most? Basically what he's asking. And I'm
Brad Marchand, get your gloves on. Let's fucking go.
No way.
He would
I
drop
would-
me.
I
He would
fucking
drop.
love him.
He would drop me. I know that,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
would like try to use like a little bit of strategy. I know I'm bigger. I'm like taller than he is, so I would just try to rely on the reach a little bit. And you know what? If that guy can hit people in the knees, so can I. I'll fucking.
I thought you were gonna say Jake Allen.
Oh no,
I
no,
thought you were gonna say
Dude,
Jake
that guy
Allen.
does enough self harm.
no
Yeah.
kidding. Any guy who
can't
gets
think of anybody
any
who I
starting
like.
goalie who's told to sit at home, like
Yeah, I like Canada.
There's no way he'd
show up to
a fight.
The most hatred I can remember having for a player in the last little while was Ryan
Kessler,
Kessler.
Perry, yeah,
Ryan Kessler.
those were the other two. But like, I know that those two would really hurt me.
Corey Perry.
Those two would kick the like no.
Yeah, no. As an Edmonton fan, Corey Perry would be the one that I like would want to get in a ring, and I don't even care. Again, I don't care if I get one punch in. He just beats the shit out of me.
Those
I
three
would
were
put in
those are my top
such a
three
fight.
guys that I would want to brawl with, and the fact is that Marchand is by far the least scary between the three.
Corey Perry, I don't think is that scary, but I definitely wouldn't fight him.
He's 6'5".
Corey Perry's huge, dude.
Perry's
Him and Getzlav are like
6'5",
the
6'4".
Twin Towers, bro.
Corey Perry 6'5".
Want to bet?
I think he's 6'4".
But Corey Perry.
Yeah, he's not. No, he's huge. There's no way I would. Not a chance I'd go up against him.
he's 6'5".
He looks like he's 6'5". He's 210.
He's 6'3".
Oh, whatever.
He's 6'5", 6'3", 210.
Psh.
I didn't know he was that big.
I'd also want to go for Lucic, but I know
You don't
that's not
notice
gonna
it
happen.
because his teammate his whole life has been like
Getzlaf's-
6'4", 220.
Yeah.
Ryan Getzlav or whatever
I-
the heck his dimensions
I
are.
know Kessler's pretty big too, isn't he?
He's tall. He's 6'3", I think, as well. But he's
Yeah.
a little bit more thin. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 6'2".
Turn back the clock to Matt Cook.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
I feel like,
He's a piece of shit.
honestly, the Matt Cook thing,
Sean Avery. Like I'm throwing out some names. Honestly, I wouldn't sign Sean Avery. I wouldn't fight Sean Avery. I'd get his autograph though. Any guy who can chirp a guy for fucking his wife. You know what? That is just.
That was so funny.
I can't believe that.
Oh,
What did he get? He got suspended for like how many games for that? Like 4 games or something like that.
he got suspended for chirping Dion.
Yeah,
Okay.
for like making the sloppy seconds comment. Do you remember that? Oh god.
I remember the comment, but
I remember Sean Avery being suspended a lot.
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, because of the way he acted around Marty B, I thought that was really like just disrespectful
You
the
did
whole
not
game.
like
Really?
the. Call it tactics. Call it antics.
Dude, I would have done worse than what Brodeur did to him if someone did that to me.
Oh, I know you would have.
I would love to see Coos get mad at a Sunnyvale game, like genuinely mad at someone, and just like, because Tyler gets mad, like in hockey, he gets so mad. I've seen him, like 2 games ago. Guy comes by, slashes me, and so I give him like a little tap back. He dives, I get a penalty, whatever. He comes around the net, and I've never seen like someone grab he had his paddle in his hand. It's bigger than like a normal stick. Just took this guy's legs out. I've never seen a slash like that hard. And he was like, because you know how like if you have it at the top, he had it like midway through, so like he got so
Well,
much
he had
velocity
it
on
right
that
at
thing.
the right with the paddle.
Yeah, right where
ends.
the paddle.
Yeah, yeah.
Gave us such a hard whack, but
Dude,
I've never seen you get that mad where you've like slashed a guy that hard.
not in beer league because in beer league
It's not worth
my,
it.
My
Yeah.
my drive or what like my push in the game or like my want to win
Yeah.
as not high. Like,
Oh, no wonder we're losing. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, we lost all of how many games last year?
how many games did we lose last year?
2, and one was the one that we needed to win the playoffs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah, I've swung at a couple people once or twice in hockey.
You've gotten fucking suplexed on the ice.
That was the dumbest thing that's ever happened.
It's still fun.
Oh my god. Well, I remember one time it looked like, from my angle, it looked like somebody smacked you in the side of the knee that was sitting in front of the net, and Aaron like hacked him once, and then he took down Aaron because he's obviously like just tiny.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
I just put this guy in a headlock and just was just chilling there, and then he hacked me in the top of the foot, and I'm like, okay, and I just kicked the back of his leg and just
Aaron has the
knocked him down. I
biggest-
just placed him on the ground, and one of their guys just lost their
I
shit.
think Aaron's one of like the feistiest guys on our team. Even though he's like one of the
Yeah, he
smallest.
is. Of course
Oh.
he is. Do you see how many hacks he
Dude,
gives? Like, Jesus.
he's like Keith in the playoffs, man. He just chopping trees down.
Looking like Phil Kessel and John Scott.
Well, and I don't know, just about talking about hacking people and stuff. He was the worst in 3-on-3,
yeah.
and 3-on-3 was the worst I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Watch the sticks, boys. Watch the sticks, boys. Like, you would hear that throughout the rink for the whole game.
Yeah,
It was insane. Those games were fun, though.
and just the amount of like the loud noise that the stick connecting to the pants makes, or the shin pads, where it's just like a
You know exactly what happened.
yeah, and you
Didn't even have to see it.
you didn't hurt him at all, but the stick was going fast, and he hit the protective part of the equipment.
Yeah.
Like that. I
Honestly,
heard
I
that
think-
sound more than
Yeah,
the sound of it.
It's only bad if you don't hear anything at all. That's when it's like, oh fuck.
hit
like,
skin.
You hit
skin.
You hit bone. You hit skin. Like that's gonna fucking hurt.
The worst is when you get it in between the glove and the shoulder or the elbow pad right here.
That's
like, on
why
that bone right here. Oh,
I never wear my elbow pads. Like actually on my elbow, I do like the classic Ovi, and I bring it up to like my wrist and use it as like a wrist guard.
Bufflin wear his like really low?
I think he might too.
I think
Actually,
Bufflin
yeah.
does
Because I see, you can see it through the jersey. Yeah.
Doesn't he always roll it up? Yeah.
To be fair, he could be just wearing like a huge like elbow pad that just covers his entire arm.
No, it's actually just his muscle.
No, yeah.
It's Big Buff's muscle.
So before we get too off topic here, I did want to get into a little bit more hockey talk in
Okay.
terms of like free agents and who's still around to be picked up.
Okay.
So obviously there's not much going on for free agents,
Mm-hmm.
but some of the names I wanted to talk about, like think could get a contract or like even possibly where they would go. I'm not even going to talk about Rick Nash because
We don't know if he's gonna play.
We don't know if he's going to play. He may retire. Other
I'd be
name-
real sad to see him go though. He was one of my absolute favorites.
at his peak, he definitely was.
Oh, him
Like
and Columbus?
the Columbus goal against Arizona that everyone knows,
double D?
the double.
or double between the legs. Was that
It,
Dallas?
it was a double toe drag, and sorry,
Was that Dallas?
it was
No,
him
it was
versus
Phoenix?
Phoenix.
It was
Yeah,
Phoenix?
it was
Okay.
Phoenix. And then also his and I think it was a world championship goal against Finland, where he scored a goal with a defender on his back, like hugging
Oh,
him
yeah,
for
yeah,
like
yeah.
the
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
offensive
that was
zone.
Rick Nash.
It was the whole.
Yeah.
It was like
It
the
just- yeah, I
ringette
feel
line
like-
in
yeah.
or something. He was like on his back, and it was so crazy. So yeah, hopefully he plays again.
Mm-hmm.
But Rick Nash is one of those names. Mike Camilleri, he's kind of been bouncing around the outside of the league, but
Edmonton.
do you think he'll fucking play somewhere this year?
He was one of my favorite Habs for like a little bit. I remember
Yeah.
he scored a one-time goal that eventually, well, it turned out being the game winner in Game 7, second round, Habs and Pens, and that's when they beat the Capitals in the first round in 7 with Halak, and then they beat Pittsburgh, and then they got
Really?
steamrolled by the Flyers in the conference final. But I'll still remember that goal. Unfortunately, I think he's done. He can't skate. That's the only issue with him now.
can't
He
at all.
can't. He can't move.
His shot.
He can
is
still shoot, though.
He can
so
still
good,
shoot, and he's
yeah.
got like decent hands, but like he's not big enough anymore. Like
I don't think he can grind enough in your bottom six, but he can't score enough anymore to be in your top six.
Yep.
So he's kind of one of those guys. I do think he could be someone a team takes a PTO on though, like kind of keeps him around. Maybe he's not out of the league till November, sort of
Yeah.
like then he realizes
Yeah.
his time's done.
I could also see him go to Europe.
That
He
is also,
he seems like one of those guys. Like I don't know. Anyways,
I feel. Sorry, I just feel like he's one of those guys who's actually made enough money though that he may say I don't want to go play for $500K in Europe. I'd rather just retire. You know.
yeah.
Other names I'm looking here. By the way, these were all the left wingers. It's all positionally based. Chimera, I think he's a good enough player that a team could give a run at him in the bottom six.
I think Jason Chimera is good enough to get a contract. The only problem with him is that, well, he is old, but it's that teams want to give their younger players a chance to make the team over signing another guy. So I think he'll be a PTO guy. I think he will end up getting a contract, but I think it will be through a tryout.
Okay. And then for the rest of the left wings, I don't like many of the names. Do you think UC Jokinen gets one for shootouts?
Nope, not a
There
chance.
you go.
He's done.
And another name, Shane Prince. I think he's the only somewhat young guy on this list.
He
So
might get like a two-way deal or something like that. I mean, he went for a third-round pick at one point.
How long ago was that, though?
That was a year and a half ago.
So not too far removed. Okay, centers here. They got Vermette, Letestu. I think both of those guys have a chance of getting a contract. Where did Vermette play last year, though? Like, did Vermette play like in the
Vermette
NHL?
was on Anaheim.
He played all year with Anaheim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't he get a suspension for slashing the ref?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Yep.
that. Okay.
I think
that was a 10 gamer.
he might get a contract. You never know.
Yeah, no one here blows me away, though.
I think Vermette, how good he is at faceoffs, I think he'll get like a fourth line.
I think
spot,
Letestu
honestly.
will.
I think Letestu should. I think Letestu is the best one
And
available.
Letestu's great. Like coming from an Edmonton fan, he was a special teams like god. He was like very good on the power play for who he was, and he was great at faceoffs. So he was perfect for the PK.
Yeah.
I don't like many of the other names like Dominic Moore, Sean Matthias, Daniel Winnick, Nick Shore, Matt Stajan. Like, I don't think many of those guys are gonna play more than
No.
like I think combined they might
Nick
play.
Shore might. He's young.
Oh yeah, Shore was the only guy that.
That was the only guy you said that I think might.
He
but,
played
like,
on LA last year, right? Is that Nick
I thought he
Shore?
was Dallas.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of Drew Shore.
Yeah.
That's who I'm getting mixed up with. Anyway, right wingers, Chris Versteeg, Joel
No.
Ward, Drew Stafford, Lee Stempniak, Yannick Hansen, Tommy Wingles.
Wingles.
Out of all those guys, I don't know what happened to Hansen
Yeah.
because I thought he was like people were talking about him being like a big like deadline acquisition for the Sharks and whatever. And it's like a year and a half later and he's
I was
just
gonna say,
garbage.
speaking
Like
of a year and a half
what?
later with the trade, he was traded for a second and a prospect last.
Goldobin was a first.
He was a first round pick.
He was a
Okay.
first round pick. So like
He was a former
That's a
first and a
lot.
second.
yeah.
I don't like many of the old guys, like I just said, but I like Thomas Yurko. He's also a free agent. He's got mad hands, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever play in the NHL. And to defense, Toby Enstrom. I think he'll definitely play.
I think he's gonna go to Montreal.
You think he's gonna play in?
I think
Montreal?
he's I have there's not really like a real reason being main reason is because I think right now people are thinking their top pair left defenseman is going to be a combination of either Victor Mete, Mike Riley, and Carl Alsner. Maybe Schlumko or Ben. Regardless, those five are not good enough to play second pair, let alone first.
How much would you give Enstrom?
Not much.
Well,
But we have $12 million in cap space, so it doesn't
do you
matter.
think the Habs is Enstrom actually gonna get like a 3-year contract, or do you think he's gonna get 2-year $8 million or something like
You
that?
give him 1 year, give him $4 million.
I don't.
I guarantee you, he's not getting like huge offers.
Well, we don't know that. Like, I feel like most of these guys, it's already the 21st today.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way that they have like multiple 3-year deals on the table. But I do feel maybe some
There's
fluke,
probably a couple teams that are giving him 2.
like fluke training camp injury or
Yeah.
something happened.
Yeah.
Like, didn't Sekera get hurt in training camp last year? Like,
Yep.
that's a situation where like, oh, okay, now we need a guy like Brooks Orpik, and I'll sign him for 1 year. So yeah, Enstrom, Orpik, Lucas Spiza. He played on Vegas last year and is actually pretty solid.
I was gonna say Spiza might.
I like generally never liked the guy, but he proved me wrong a little bit last year. Johnny Oduya, Paul Martin, Alexei Yemlin,
Johnny
Those
Oduya
are
just
all done. I would love to see Emlyn get signed, but everybody hates him. So
Dan Hamhuis, Kevin Bieksa.
Hamhuis should. I didn't think he was that bad.
Yeah, he might.
I think he could. I don't know. Like, is he like an injury prone guy?
I
think he
could
might.
see him going back to.
I think so.
Like,
I
yeah.
could see him going back to Vancouver and being like.
He
vet
really
guy in
liked
the
his
dressing
time in
room
Vancouver,
and being
and
like
he's
a vet
from
guy in
there.
the
Like,
dressing room.
yeah,
I can see
they lost
that.
the Sedins.
Having
Maybe.
like Hugh Levy and all that coming up, and yeah, I think. he could
I
go
think
there.
you have to. I think it all depends on like the numbers. Like, I don't know who's on the team even
Yeah.
on defense. Like, I know they have Edler, Goodbranson, Stetcher, Delzato.
I like that
Hutton.
Stetcher guy.
Huh?
I'm a fan of that Stetcher guy. When I've seen him play against Edmonton,
I didn't think he was that.
fan.
I looked at his stats and didn't think he was that good. And then he got signed for like just over $2 million a season.
when
I
I've
was like,
seen him play, I've always like seen him like stand out.
what? Anyways,
And then for goalies, there's 3 names: Pavlik, Lettinen, and then Steve Mason.
I think Mason and Lennon are good enough to get deals. I think Lettinen might have to play a year in Europe or something like that to prove it, but I think he's definitely a top 60 goalie in the league. And if you look at his individual stats, I don't think he's that bad.
I agree. But
And Mason just had a shit year.
I
That's
think-
all it is.
I think a lot of it though is just like
Goalie's coming up. I think.
them taking the pride. Like
Yeah.
if any of these guys, they're get backup deals, and I think at least Mason and probably Lettinen too. They're trying to get 1A type of contracts where it's like I could battle for the starting position, whereas in reality they should.
You're only getting back to backs.
Like,
One of the
that's
things-
what I'm saying.
One of the things I didn't get is like I would rather take a flyer on one of those two than like do what Detroit did and sign Jonathan Bernier for 3 years, $3 million per.
Yeah, like I don't think
Like why would you?
Bernier's worth 2 more years of
I don't
security
think.
than any
I don't
of these
think Bernier's
guys.
better than.
Mason.
Bernier
Played pretty well.
I know, but like, dude, he's played horrible. Like, remember he played for the Leafs. He didn't get a win till like January, and he played in the minors. Like Jesus.
Anyway, that's
And I
that's
feel
my
like
list of.
If you do call them like top 60 goalies, I feel like having like the younger guy or like someone who can like get the experience, they'd rather have that than a Lettinen coming in or a Mason coming in.
Yeah, like
yeah, maybe.
yeah,
If
exactly.
I'm the Jets, I'm looking at one of those fucking guys. I don't like Brissois at
Look
all.
at Mason already.
we had Pavlik not too long ago.
And I
And we
guess
had
our
Pavlik not
franchise
too
has
long
had
ago,
Lettinen.
yeah.
That's
I-
also true.
I wouldn't. We did.
Yeah,
Terry
he's a
Lettinen was
thrasher.
drafted.
We did.
here.
Yeah.
Former first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want to get into the more like the
The mo-
funner side of things, we can talk about some RFAs.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, let's talk about the one UFA you didn't mention coming from the KHL. The wife beater himself, Slava Voinov.
Is he for sure gonna play in the NHL next
I
year?
think he's
or
like I
he
think he's
wants
eligible.
to?
I think he's eligible to get a contract. It's just
Yeah, I was
like
gonna say, didn't
do
he, like,
teams
get
take the
his-
chance or not?
He got like his work visa or whatever the hell it is. Like,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was, I think that's what was stopping him was because he couldn't get it because of like the
I've heard like a bunch of reports saying that like oh there's a few teams that are like interested or whatever. It's like if the people were interested, he would have signed by now. That's my logic, but like I don't know.
Slava Voinov, when he played in the NHL, was an all right defenseman.
He was a good second pair.
He's an all right defenseman, but it's been like 4 years since we've seen him play. 3 years since he's played. Like
He's still
a
on
full
the-
season.
But he's still on the right side of 30.
And didn't he play really well at the Olympics?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure he played really well for.
I remember hearing his name. Like
yeah,
the
for
guys
Russia.
were talking
Yeah.
about him, but yeah,
Who won the gold medal again? It wasn't Russia,
It was Russia.
was it?
it was Russia.
Yeah, but they
Oh,
were
wow.
like, but since they got DQ'd, it was not, technically not Russia. It was like
The Olympic
the
team of
Olympic
Russia.
team
From-
sport
or,
from
like,
Russia or something like that.
representing, yeah.
Representing. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can talk about some RFAs. Get into the little
it's Davos.
because we got some bigger names here. We got the plus minus leader with 43 goals, 78 points at plus 49. William Karlsson.
That's insane.
This is the most interesting RFA case I've seen in a long time because nobody has ever in history, in recent history, gone from a season where they got 25 points in 81 games
Yeah,
to the next season getting almost a point a game.
and 41
And
41 of
43
those,
goals.
or 43 of those are goals.
Like, what the hell? And then 15 points in the playoffs where he makes the final. Like,
that's insane.
what, like, I don't know what kind of contract he's even looking for. Like, I want to know what he's asking for.
I want to know what the discussions are there because I feel like
I feel like Vegas could
Proved
be
himself once. He didn't. It's
Vegas
one
could be like,
season.
we'll give you like a 2-year, like $4 million deal, and I could see Carlson saying like, I want 8.
I want eight a year.
dude.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's always so many different ways you can play this. I feel like the Knights could be going, all right, we'll give you 6 years at $6 million. You played last year like you're worth 9. Every other year you've been worth 2.
Ish.
We'll give you something in the middle.
Yeah.
And like, there you go. Or you go into that realm where it's like last year you were worth 9. We'll give you a year or 2 at like 8, 7.
see what
sort
you
of.
do.
Yeah.
If Carlson's smart, I think he would take a bridge.
That's what I think
Yeah.
his best. If he's can do this again, if he can replicate something close to this, then yes, he definitely should bridge.
And
Yeah.
just by watching him play, like, I don't think
You don't think it was a fluke?
There's like no way this could be a fluke.
Yeah. He's
Like 43 goals doesn't happen as a fluke anymore. Like the only one that I think it's happened to in the 2000s has been Jonathan Chichu.
That's exactly who I came to mind, and he bopped 50. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, he popped 50. He won a rocket.
Really? Yeah.
Jonathan
yeah.
Chichu with I think it was the year
Who was his?
Joe Thornton got like 85 assists.
That was that season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was those two. His partner in crime.
Yeah,
And I think Marlowe was the other winger. So
probably.
Yeah.
They-
They lit it up. Yeah,
Where's
William
another one?
Carlson, another one. Jason Zucker, 31 goals, 31 assists.
He had a really good
he had
season.
60 points last year.
Yeah, 62. I saw somewhere. I think it was that he's asking for a deal around 6.25 per season, and I think that the team is countering with like 5.25, 5.5 ish.
Okay.
I think I read that somewhere. But anyways,
That doesn't seem too far off. Like that definitely could
Yeah,
be
that
worked
definitely
out.
yeah, like, well, that's a lot closer than like some of the other negotiations. Well, Trouba, for example,
Trouba, yeah.
7-4.
That was insane how far apart they were.
Another interesting one is Dylan Larkin.
How much did he make last year?
Well, he was on entry level.
He was on his entry level.
Entry
yeah.
level, and somebody told me that he was looking for like Pasternak to Ehlers kind of money. So they both got. I think Pasternak got 6 years at 6.666667,
Yeah.
and Ehlers got 7 years at 6 mil. So that's where Larkin thinks he's at. He got 62 points last year. It's not
And he's the top guy in.
in Detroit.
In
Yeah,
Detroit.
Zetterberg. They were talking about Zetterberg. He's not sure about next year.
He may retire.
Wow.
He may not be able to play just because he's been banged up like a lot. Like,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
not kid ourselves. Like, he's
yeah.
old.
He's got some mileage.
Mark Stone's another one. He's gonna get paid.
Well, Ottawa can pay him.
Yeah, he's the one of the best defensive wingers in the league. Probably, in my opinion, the best.
I really like Mark Stone. I'm a fan of his play. Like even offensively, he's an absolute stud.
If he could skate, he would be one of the top 5. He would be a top 5 player in the league, in my opinion, just by like the drive and everything that he has. Even though
Yeah.
he's a winger, he wouldn't be the most valuable guy, but like just as far as talent, there's no telling what he would be able to do. But the thing is,
he's
he's an
slow.
average. He's like an average. He's an average to slow skater, and
His shots. I remember watching the opening game of like Matthews' career there when he got like the 4 goals. And I remember one of the goals was Mark Stone just walking up. He was against like Morgan Riley or something, and literally just taking a clap bomb from like just on top of the circle and just shelved it. And I was like, holy shit, that was an absolute cannon.
I like what people don't remember about that game is even though Matthews got like 4 goals, I'm pretty sure they still lost.
They did. They lost
Yeah,
5-4.
Yeah, there it is. There you go.
Because I remember saying, like, joking about it and saying that that's the most Leafs thing ever.
Yeah,
That
I know.
You got the best player in, like, coming up. He got 4 goals. Like, oh my God, this kid's
The chosen
amazing.
one, yeah.
The next big thing. But somehow the Leafs still blow the win
Yeah.
and lost.
I still remember after they always asked him like, oh, how about those 4 points? Like, yeah, or oh, how about those 4 goals? He goes, oh yeah, it's nice. He's like, but at least we got the 1 point. I was like, wait,
Like
you got
what?
4 goals and you only got 1 point?
And the last one we'll talk about, we're talking about the Leafs a little bit. Slick Billy, William Nylander.
He's also from what I've heard, in the like Ehlers camp
Yeah.
in terms of what he's
Yeah,
trying
and
to get.
I think that's reasonable.
think
I
that's
don't think
yeah.
that's I don't think that's totally out of this world. Especially when compared, I think those are like 2 really good comparisons, just because they play a similar game to them as well.
Yeah, and the rivalry. even,
Nylander
too.
more than Larkin, in my opinion. I don't think Larkin's nearly as talented as the other
Larkin's
3.
a center. The other 2 both play wing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the other thing too.
Is Larkin good at faceoffs?
No,
If
not
anybody-
really.
Okay.
From his Chell rating.
It's half my knowledge.
We're not going to go through every single RFA, but I'll list off a couple bigger name RFAs. Sam Reinhart, Kevin Hayes, Spooner, Andre Cache. Is that how you pronounce it?
Kasha.
Kasha? Yeah. Tommy
though-
Wilson, Montour, Hannafin, Shea Theodore I thought was pretty good. I thought he sucked for Anaheim and just like defensively, he had like a lot of blunders, but
Once he went to Vegas.
and once Vegas like started clearing out like a couple defensemen for him to play on because he started the year on their
Nice.
AHL team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Morrissey, Darnell Nurse, Brady Shea. Brady Shea's gonna get
that's a-
paid.
He's gonna get paid. Absolute
Yeah.
man rocket. Or should we say man missile?
Yeah, man.
Man
I don't think
missile.
there's anything you can call
Josh
him.
Morrissey.
Are you
another
sounding
man missile.
that-
You're saying
stupid.
Brady Shea's attractive when you're saying that, or
Oh
yes,
yeah.
that's what he's saying.
Oh, he was in my top 3.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So there's a top
That'll
3.
be next podcast.
That'll be next
podcast.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I was gonna say. I was like, because I know we talked about that over text, but we haven't talked about that on the podcast.
I don't know if we have.
No, I don't.
we
I don't
haven't.
think. Okay, that'll
I
be
don't
next.
think
That'll
we
be
have.
next podcast.
Okay. Well, how about we wrap this one up and ask what are the Puck Boys doing this weekend? Actually, we'll do 2 weekends because we're not going to be doing this for 2 weeks. We're gonna go.
I guess
two
we're all
birds.
doing the same thing the weekend after. So
Yeah, no, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Uh,
Well, we're gonna talk about OV.
yeah. So Madison Bowie.
Yep.
He is going to a club called OV in Winnipeg.
Alexander
And
Ovechkin.
'cause
OV, kind
he's-
of funny.
Hey, he should come. So he's bringing the cup there for his like party, I guess. So I think we're gonna hopefully get in. We have a few connections.
We are gonna have to go early though.
We're gonna have to go early,
Oh.
or we can get the connections. Like,
Yeah.
one of our friends knows family friend kind of thing of Madison Bowie, and I know one of the bartenders there, so we can maybe figure that out and hopefully.
I know one of the
get in.
promoters.
Oh, they're literally
That
up there.
would help.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Might, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get into there and see the cup, maybe touch him.
That'd be really wild.
Touch him or it. I didn't hear that correctly.
or
Cup's a
her.
That's
Stanley,
better.
Stanley Cup's a him.
Is the Stanley Cup a him or a her?
Just by the name, like Stanley, and I refer to it as a guy.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's so many ways you can go
I would
about
take-
it.
I
Because
think-
I know the whole
Because
car thing.
I
like,
do
everyone
eat
calls
out
it-
of the cup, and like him. That's a little weird,
Yeah.
but you know it is Lord Stanley, and like
I don't know. I think I'd just
Yeah,
like to.
Lord,
I'd like to
yeah.
put her to bed. That's like I think it just rolls off the tongue better like that. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
But then again, like, could you imagine being like in Madison Bowie's shoes and like you're not talking about bringing your girl to you're talking about bringing your boy the cup
The boy-
Yeah,
to the
okay.
club.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's up in the air.
Yeah, because if you bring your girl to the club, you are focusing only on her. But if you're bringing the boy out, like you're showing that bad boy off. Like you're.
Depending what your girl looks like.
Oh yeah, true, true,
Yeah.
true. I got put in my place.
What are you guys doing Saturday? Are you guys going out to the cabin on Friday?
Yeah,
You guys
the
wanna
Gimli Film Fest is this weekend, so
Okay.
we're gonna go out Friday night and enjoy that for the Friday.
So I was gonna say, let's go hit some bells on the course on Saturday morning. But I guess I'm
Are
going.
you going? Are you going to Gimli too?
No.
Come to Gimli. We'll golf out that way in the morning.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Go to Inwood or
Fun
somewhere
fact. This you guys will like this. So you know how like Lexi golfs, like U of M golf team, all that. She didn't know that like the links is referred to as a golf course. She thought like the only golf course that was called the links was the links at the lake.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, we should hit the links. She's like, why would we go all the way up to Gimli? And I was like, no, like hit a golf course. And she's like, what? I was like, you didn't know that like the links is like referred to as a golf course? She's like, I thought it was just links at the lake. Like that's the only one that's called links. And I was like,
Huh.
oh my god! I was like, you golf and you didn't know this? Like, oh, I thought it was so weird. Cause like, oh, that's like calling like a hockey arena barn or something like that.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's. I'm
Like,
just trying to think
Yeah.
of a better comparison.
Yeah, that's a good. That's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So like,
'Cause I
every
feel-
hockey player knows like, oh,
to,
it was like.
to be fair,
the
I
barn.
feel like if I mentioned to Autumn, I know it's different because Autumn doesn't play hockey, but if I said to Autumn like, "Hey, we're just going to the barn right now," she'd be like, "Why the fuck are you not in the city?"
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like, yeah, she wouldn't be
Yeah.
like, "Why are you at the hockey rink?" You know. But
I think it's so weird. But yeah, we should. Do
I couldn't tell you when I learned what like that the links was for golfing. Like I just remember being like 14 or something, and like I picked it up. Like my
Yeah,
grandpa
yeah.
and dad used it once, and it
Let's
was
hit
like
the links. It's like
the
what's
links.
That? Oh,
Yeah,
it's a golf course. Okay, cool.
yeah.
But yeah, we got that, and then the weekend after we have good old Ice Fest out in Gimli.
I'm so excited for that.
Should be a good time.
My cabin turns 100 this year.
Yeah, and Colin knocked out someone last year apparently.
Apparently.
Forgot about that
Oh
entirely.
my god, that was nuts.
Round two.
Allegedly.
Round two.
Allegedly.
To summarize, Marcus was getting pushed. Me and my buddy Lane were like, well, you know what? If he's getting to a fight, I guess this is go time because we were both just stupidly hammered.
Nice.
We start walking towards the guy, and then like
bouncer,
this
I think it
huge
was?
bouncer just like goes through both of us and just like picks up the guy, and like like some of those hits were like they just
They
power
walk a few
through,
feet
like-
with them.
yeah.
They walk a few feet with them in their hands.
yeah.
Basically.
This
Oh,
guy got full scent,
There was no deceleration upon contact. It was just continuous motion.
and he got tossed on top
Those
of
are
a
some of my
table
favorite
and was just like he got ragdolled.
Yeah, and then a little bit later in the night.
But then somebody just goes, yeah, like, Colin, are you okay? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, we saw you punch that guy. And they were like legit and serious. I'm like, are you like, what? This is happening? And then we ended up, well, because Marcus and I, we went, like, that was the first night we went. We went back the second night. And I met, it was Lexi's brother. Is it Brandon?
Landon.
Landon. Yeah, met him. He's like, oh, you're the guy who punched him. And I'm like, oh, no, like, this is not picking up speed. This is not, no.
Nice.
Because last thing I need is this guy here, and then I dropped his ass and being like, well, you know what? I'm going to kick this guy's
We've
ass.
had a few altercations with him.
with that guy we're
Yeah,
talking
that guy.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be the last one.
Oh, with the crack.
Got the crack knuckles. Oh,
Damn.
you're a pussy.
It would have been a lot more satisfying if I got more than one small crack, but like, you know what? I'll take it.
Alrighty.
Only need one knuckle.
3
Wanna do
stars.
3 stars? Okay. Fuck. You're first.
I'll go. I'm doing 3 star.
We got a number 1
Sure.
already. I got number 2. I gotta think of it though.
3rd star goes out to the Prouts for having us at their cabin. It was a
Aw.
great time. We got some ring toss going. We had some good
Oh,
old
the
fashioned.
ring toss tourney was fun.
The best
I
part
love
was
that
how those
game.
rings were also ball openers. I thought that was like the most lake.
blew his
That was
mind.
one of the most like
blew
lake
his mind.
games I've ever seen.
Remember when the shoe opened up a bottle and that blew his mind too?
Yeah,
Like
anything that opens up a bottle, he's like, oh, damn.
versatile.
Oh,
Colin is the type of guy to add anything, like add a bottle opener to anything. Like,
dude, I don't even have a ball
he'll get
opener
a
on my
jock-
keychain.
Like,
You
he'll
need to get a-
he'll
you need to get a-
jock strap and
A
just.
bottle opener phone case and a bottle opener like fucking
The
earring.
I don't
thing
drink
is,
bottles
I
enough
don't-
to do
I
it.
don't- I don't drink bottles either.
I don't drink balls enough.
Yeah.
I'm always harp, banquet, Carlsberg.
I've been Molson lately. It's really good. It's cheaper and good.
Anyways, that's my 3rd star.
That's your 3rd star.
The
You want to do
Prince.
2nd or 1st?
Dibs on second.
Okay.
Okay, well, go.
Well, I'm gonna give second star to my father, because in a weird way, he actually copyrighted a sports term a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Um,
Oh my god, we didn't even drop it throughout the entire podcast. I feel stupid. Anyways,
We're doing 5th star.
I'm giving the shout out here.
okay.
So the shout out, the term he coined is sports affective condition, or SAC, and the description is a phenomenon whereby a sports event, team, participant, or organization can have a positive or negative effect on individuals, groups, or communities, locally, nationally, or internationally. So essentially, just it's like sports fandom, like it's the emotional high or low of watching your sports team
I'm
succeed.
affected by that.
I am very.
I am
affected
very
by
affected
that.
by that.
We all are, dude. Like,
Yeah, every sports fan is basically. If you like a team enough, you will be affected by this.
and there had never been a term before this, but now my dad has it, and it is the sports affective condition.
So if you ever talk about this, shout out Slavo.
Yeah, Slavo.
Number 1, I think, has to go to Ray Emery and his family.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
Good answer. Yep.
We heard about it last week, and it was a sad moment for everybody in the hockey community.
I will never forget him fighting Martin Biron,
Oh yeah.
and then Andrew Peters, who was the tough guy for the Sabres, was like, "No, you can't do that." And then Emery's like, "Well, bring it on, bitch," and took on an NHL enforcer as a goalie. It's like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
He had a smile on his face the whole time.
Fucking
Yeah.
good on you. Yeah.
Yeah. So our hearts go out to their family.
Yep.
Everybody who's affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's a Puck Boys podcast.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Like, subscribe. Not gonna do that. Peace.
Dislike.
Yeah, dislike. Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe.
Bye.
Where's that button?